I would like to address the young people of our country again, because many of the victims were full of plans, hopes, and dreams. Their lives should not be summarized by the way it ended. They should be honored for what they were, a promise, an energy, a part of our common future. We owe them respect, remembrance, and the commitment to do everything possible to prevent such tragedies from happening again. A humanly unbearable, terrible moment. We are aware, unfortunately, that the identification of bodies, as well as the identification of the injured, may still take some time, a terrible time for the families involved. We reiterate our full confidence in the teams, the personnel involved, both for the care of the patients and the police teams on site. We are facing a critical situation, with seriously injured people and severe burns, and we have already been able to carry out transfers to several specialized centers, notably to the CHUV in Lausanne, as well as to the hospital of Zurich. It was around 1:30 a.m. when smoke was seen coming from a bar located in the center of the Crans resort. A few seconds a witness contacted the operations center of the Valais cantonal police to report this fire. Immediately, the red alarm, which is intended to mobilize the firefighters, was activated. Less than a minute later, at 1:32 in the morning, the first police patrols arrived at the scene, specifically the gendarmerie and the intercommunal police of Grand Montana. They very quickly were supported by a significant deployment composed of firefighters from the entire region, OCVS rescuers, as well as police forces. Their primary mission was, of course, to take care of the victims in order to provide them assistance and transport them to various hospitals in Sion, Bienne, Martigny, Rennes, Geneva, Lausanne, Freiburg, Bern, and Zurich. The firefighters quickly contained the disaster and secured the area. We count around 40 people deceased and about 115 injured, most of them seriously. I remind you that for the purposes of the investigation, the main street of Crans is closed until further notice. Immediately and in the coming days, the priority will be on identifying the deceased so that their bodies can be quickly placed in the care of the morgue. This work may take several days. Given the international nature of the Crans station, we can expect victims of foreign nationalities. We are also in close contact with the families of the victims, whom we keep informed in real time, as well as with the various concerned embassies.
There are still many circumstances to be clarified. Several hypotheses have been put forward. The currently favored theory is that of an outbreak generalized that caused an explosion. Several witnesses have been interviewed, and phones that have also been recovered may be analyzed.
Among the people taken care of in our hospitals, around 35 individuals who went to the hospital by their own means to receive treatment. 80 people taken care of by the OCVS. Among these 80 people, a very large majority went through the advanced medical post and was classified as being in a critical category. Currently, about 60 patients are being cared for at the hospital in Sion. But as the commander rightly mentioned earlier, we also have patients in a whole series of other hospitals in our country. The Valais hospital is currently under extreme pressure, and we reiterate the message we conveyed this morning. If you want to be helpful, be cautious. Do not overcrowd the emergency rooms with situations that can be avoided. We call on the population of the canton to exercise the utmost caution so that we can best care for the people, the injured, from this disaster. Can you confirm or deny, 1, that champagne bottles with small pyrotechnic devices attached to them were used, or even firecrackers during the evening, according to various testimonies? 2. Can you deny or confirm that the owners of the nightclub are French? 3. Can you deny or confirm that the staircase between the first and second floors is, according to several testimonies, particularly narrow? Thank you very much.
I appreciate your questions. Currently, to be clear, we are only a few hours away from this tragedy. I am not in a position to confirm anything. The investigation is ongoing and will establish the exact circumstances of what happened. Regarding your second question, whether the owner is French or not, I wasn't expecting these questions. I haven't examined the answer, I'm telling you honestly. And finally, regarding the narrowness of the staircase, I saw the staircase, I also noted it on site. What is a narrow staircase, actually, in the end? The investigation will also be there to determine whether all the safety standards were respected, or if that is not the case.
You mentioned neighboring countries that have offered help to Switzerland. Is this help was accepted by Switzerland? Are there any particular needs? And if so, for example, will France have any involvement in the investigation and in what is currently happening? Maybe I'll start. I had contact with President Macron directly, we discussed the situation. Naturally, there is a need for expertise, Mr. Reynard stated clearly. These are severe burn issues, bulgonary aspects, there are many offers, it must be coordinated, and that is why it happens at the cantonal level, health authority, people on the ground are specialists if we want to be effective. And it is at this level, even for identification, that it must take place. But there was this contact. I also had contact with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Italian, as well as messages from other heads of state and foreign governments. You have mentioned young people several times. Can we dare to speak of minors? Do you already have an age range or is it too early? You can imagine that on New Year's Eve, at the station, the population of October is quite young. To go as far as to talk about minors, I won't go that far, but indeed, it is a festive population, so young, so joyful. Is it possible to say if it was a party with teenagers between 15 and 20 years old? As we said earlier, it's a bar, it's New Year's Eve. So indeed, there was a young crowd. To set a precise age limit between 15 and 20, I cannot answer you. But indeed, it was this age range that was celebrating. The beginning of the year when this tragedy occurred in this bar. Thank you. And the second question, during the investigation now, were any people arrested? So no, for the moment, we have no suspects. An investigation has been opened, not against someone, but to clarify the circumstances of this dramatic fire.